This morning we got up early. We like to get out early on the lake quite a bit. Feel like it gives you a good opportunity to get out of fish. So I woke Chase up a little after 5 o'clock. We had the boat ready, kind of a good assortment of lures that we thought we might want for the day. We knew it was going to be a calmer day. You never know with the weather, so we loaded up the truck. Plenty of snacks, plenty of drinks for the kids to keep them going, had all the musky gear we needed. Headed out to one of our local resorts and launched the boat, around 6 o'clock to get going. A super foggy day. We launched the boat and you couldn't see 100 yards on the lake. It was a little cooler night. And with that being said, some of the cooler mornings we like to start out in some shallow water. A lot of people don't realize these muskies will commonly sit in 1 to 2 or 3 feet of water, big and small.
You gonna get a big one?
Yeah.
Hey guys, Chris Whitney here with Leisure Outdoors, out on Leech Lake this morning with my son Chase. Hoping to go try for a nice muskie this morning. Probably mix it up with a little smallmouth and walleye fishing. Super diverse fishery, excellent fishing. We have walleye, smallmouth bass, largemouth, panfish, pike, etc. A little bit of everything. We're going to start out in some of the sand and rocky areas, trying for a muskie, and probably go over to some rock piles for the smallmouth and walleye, and we'll see what the day brings. I grew up in southern Minnesota, born in a little town of Blue Earth, graduated high school in Rochester, was fishing every chance I could as a kid. Not a lot of water down there other than the Mississippi River, so rivers, streams, carp, northern pike, a few summer trips up north. Fishing was always a passion, and I knew from a young age, 10 years old, what I wanted out of life. I wanted to be, involved in the outdoors and hunting, fishing, stuff like that. So the first chance I got after high school, I kind of passed on college and went all in the fishing side. I moved up to Walker, Minnesota when I was about 19 or 20. Got into a fish house business, started guiding shortly after. It's always been a passion, fishing, taking people fishing, sharing that experience. Started out, just fishing little water. We're up here on Leech Lake now, doing tournaments. Joined with Leisure Outdoors here this spring, which has been a great thing. One of the best guide teams in Minnesota, in my opinion. That's why I picked them. A great group of guys. I was doing a lot of walleye stuff for a number of years and really intrigued by muskies and the challenge, and caught a few accidentally. Would get a couple here and there when we tried for them, but it was the challenge, the hardest fish to catch in the lake. So just really went into that. Started chasing that dream, of catching these big muskies, and slowly progressed into the tournament fishing. Lucky enough to win couple tournaments, place high in some. The big PMTT tournament that come to Leech Lake, the mega tournament. Me and my buddy Dan Burrow, we won that 2 years ago. 6 muskies in 3 days, so it was a pretty proud moment for both of us. Probably our biggest fishing achievement, which, big deal for us. And here we are today. I was guiding for walleyes for years with a few muskie trips, and I'm really trying to get more into the muskie side of things each year. Just gotten real comfortable with it, taking out beginners, kids, you name it, if the casting ability is there. Otherwise there's trolling options. And here we are today, living up in Walker, Minnesota, right near Leech Lake, guiding full-time, walleyes, muskies, smallmouth bass, panfish, you name it. Living here with my wife Ashley, 3 boys, Chael, Chase, and Callan, which they love fishing, and I love taking my boys fishing. It's become a big part of my life. Sharing that experience, passing on the knowledge. A couple of them have the desire to be a guide like Dad someday, which is pretty cool. So Chase tags along every chance he gets, just trying to, share that knowledge and, just teach him what I know. It's a pretty cool deal.
Guiding, while to some people on the outside it might seem like a glamorous thing, it's a lot of work.
But every time somebody steps into my boat for a guide trip, it's their trip. This is their trip. And
spending the day on the water with people, it's really a dream come true.
It's just truly special experience. Setting the hook, netting the fish, high-fiving people, and that's truly the passion.
What drives me is fishing different species and making memories with people. It's a phenomenal thing.
And that's what keeps me coming back. That's what fuels my fire for guiding.
Every day is something new, and seeing the smiles on people's faces when they catch that personal best makes it all worthwhile.
And I love watching kids get addicted to fishing.
We are a family. Between all of us, we spend countless hours on the water. And at the end of the day, it's about making sure that the people that were in your boat learned something and enjoyed that experience and made some memories along the way.
Fish like these. We wanted to go catch a big one. First thing in that fish.
Look at something just took a swing. I got him. Here she comes.
Get her last cast. Last cast of the day.
Where you going, buddy? Where you going?
The Guide Life with Leisure Outdoor Adventures is brought to you by these great partners: Cedar Point Realty, Ray's Sport and Marine, Blackfish Gear, Blue Water Lodge, North Edge Exteriors, and Swanson's Bait and Tackle.
We went and we hit a couple spots. One tried some sand, tried some weeds, got to a little rocky point where we found fish earlier in the week. And as we kind of came around the corner, Chase made a cast right up to shore, almost hitting the rocks, barely got a crank in, and we seen water. We seen water flying in the air, and we knew something was happening, and luckily he hooked that fish.
Cranking.
Not huge, but we got him.
Way to go, bud.
About the size of the one I just seen.
That's why I put you up front. That fish bit right next to shore, didn't he?
Yeah, I did like, and it was like right at the beginning of the shot.
Here, do you want to hold this and that? I'm gonna grab a couple things real quick. That's cool, huh? Whip that bucktail, little homemade bucktail right up next to shore, and I just heard a splash. Now we're working a rocky point. I just had a mid-30s follow me up and spook off. Chase whipped his bucktail right up to shore, and all I seen was some whitewater flying. Not a huge fish, but it's a muskie. He got the job done. A little white and orange homemade bucktail that we make these in our shed, so it's always cool. Not inventing anything new, but kind of put your own twist and make them how you want.
Cool.
Tell me what happened.
So I was casting it up there, and I started reeling, and I thought I got snagged on a rock, but then he started fighting.
It's your first one casting this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got a 46 trolling in June. Well, this is his first casting fish of the year. 9 years old and training them in young. You'll take this lake over someday, aren't you?
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Just a little homemade marabou bucktail we whipped up in the shed. Nothing too fancy, a little white and silver blade, little oranges. Orange has been a good color lately. Don't even need the pliers. Ouch. Not huge, but we gotta start somewhere. Alright, Chase, come here, buddy. Take your left hand. Right in here. Don't go under his gills, though. Pinch your thumb on your fingers right there. Show the cameraman what we got there.
You want to jump in there, Chris?
Step back over the net here a little bit, Chase. Got a nice Leech Lake Muskie. I don't know if it's mid-30s maybe. Little scrapper, fun one. It was a good fight, bud. Good looking fish. Hit right on the end of the cast. Some cool spots on the tail. I love them little guys are the most colorful always. Should we get them back in there?
Yeah.
So he can live to grow up bigger. Let you in here while he releases it. Just kind of lay them in and don't drop you in, bud. We're gonna go find this one's mom next.
Yes.
I always like to just kind of turn them on their side, and if they fight you, you know they're ready to go. So you can kind of just let them go back.
No, it's cool.
Hey, good job, bud. You did awesome.
Well, you can still see his tail. It's a team.
You're doing better every year. Heck yeah. Let's get another one.
I thought I got snagged, but then he started fighting a little bit. It's like right there.
You like musky fishing?
Yeah,
Do I force you to go, or do you beg to go?
I beg to go.
Because of that right there.
Yeah, that's it. Living the dream. Chasing those fish, growing up in the Northwoods. I don't think he knows how good he has it, you know? And walleyes, bass, muskies, just makes me jealous from growing up as a kid catching carp in the rivers. He's catching muskies and just beautiful fish, you know? Has a dream of being a guide out here someday, so we'll see. Maybe the next leisure outdoor guide. Get you a boat when you're 16, maybe. Maybe you run this boat when I get a new one. Heck yeah, man.
Ray Sport and Marine is your London Mercury headquarters. The 2019s are in and they're better than ever. Lund boats powered by Mercury are engineered to be the best with unbeatable performance and unmatched strength. Lund truly provides the ultimate fishing experience. Like the 2019 Pro V Limited loaded with exclusive features and premium styling. The Pro V Limited redefines the term ultimate fishing boat. Ask about how you can build your custom Lund boat too. Experience the Lund difference powered by Mercury at Ray Sport and Marine, Grand Rapids and Bemidji.
The Lakes area is full of wonderful properties and recreational opportunities for you and your family to enjoy. Year-round homes, cabins, and land available. If you have been considering a real estate purchase or sale, we would love to hear from you. Cedar Point Realty, proudly selling the Lakes area.
So yeah, Chase is, he's lost a few fish over the years, but it's that heartbreak that keeps you coming back, You learn from your mistakes and you just keep after it, Just never give up, and right when you start thinking it's time to give up, it's usually when they come. So it's to always keep your head up, keep casting, and just never give up with these muskies. It's almost more like hunting than fishing, It's you just go all day waiting for one good chance, and if you're lucky, maybe you get more, but it's not a high action deal. It's you're hoping for a bite. Sometimes they break your heart, sometimes you're high-fiving, and luckily this time we got some high fives out of the deal. Well, let's try for another one here. Keep at them, Chase. There's more of them in here. That little pack was up the shore the other day. It looked like they moved down a bit. There's multiple fish in that group, so I might be able to get another one out of here. Yeah, if we can just get them to bite, we're on a lot of fish. There's a lot of fish of all sizes moving right now. We're seeing fish from 30 inches on up. Have some buddies that have been catching some 50+ inches recently. Got quite a few in the mid-40s and mid to upper 40s so far this season. Still looking for that first 50-incher of the year ourselves, but we'll just take them as they come. Definitely won't complain about any size, because they little ones, in my opinion, those little ones are no easier to catch than the big ones. So you just kind of stay after them and take what they'll give you. So that fishing pole Chase is using, he actually won in the Frank Schneider tournament last year. He signed up and fished with me for the first time, casted almost 28 hours without a break. He went hard, and he ended up getting a 43-inch muskie, since there's a 40-inch minimum to win the junior division of the tournament, and he won this rod and reel combo. First fish he's caught on it, so that's pretty cool. So I asked Chase before we left the last spot, I asked him where he thought we should go, and he said rocks. I asked him if he was a muskie, where would he be, and he told me he'd be in the rocks. He didn't know which rocks, but I had a decent idea, so we went to the rocks. I like to listen to him and try some of his ideas, and it builds him up as a fisherman. I'm not just calling the shots, picking every lure. I like to stay open-minded and let him pick spots and pick lures occasionally, and every now and then it pays off and he teaches me something. So just stay open-minded, even with kids or new and young fishermen. Sometimes the simplest thought process is the best. It's easy to overthink things and really try to plan and strategize, and sometimes it's way easier, and then you can make it. You can make it a lot tougher. Just take the easy route. Don't overthink it.
It's a family deal for me. I enjoy taking out and sharing these experiences and knowledge with my family as well as the customers, and teaching them what we're doing, getting them their first fish, their biggest fish, etc. It's why I do it. It's just to share that and hopefully get these new fishermen involved and let them have a story to tell their friends and family as they grow up, fishing on Leech Lake. So one of my favorite parts about guiding is I get to meet people from all over the country, young, old, in between, and that's part of what I really enjoy about it. You don't, other than the repeat customers, you don't really know who's showing up each day. You get different ages, boys, girls. Some have never fished before, some have fished their entire life, and to me I just really enjoy teaching and sharing those experiences, and the goal for me is at the end of the day, if there's a few of these kids or even adults that haven't done much of it, that go out and buy their first fishing pole, and just getting them involved, passing that torch right down the line and sharing it with people. I get to hear stories from all over the country, different people. Take a lot of veterans out, which to me is, other than the kids, is probably the coolest part. These guys that have served their country, worked their way to the absolute top of the totem pole, 25, 30 years in the Air Force, Navy, and it's not much I can do besides thanking them, other than taking them out and sharing what I know, and just add into us, experiences in their life. And to me, that's what it's all about. It's not just fishing. It's sharing what you know with these people, and getting them involved. It's why I do it.
Chase is probably 44 plus or minus.
Developed from the latest technology, Blackfish Technical Apparel outperforms, so anglers have gear that they can trust in, no matter the conditions.
So, a few muskie tips, whether it be Leech Lake or, whatever lake it is that you fish. Like any fishing, you want to develop some kind of a pattern. And unless you have a rock solid pattern that you know where the fish are and what to do, I really like to bounce between spots. Maybe you start in a weed bed, next you hit rocks, try a little bit of a sand spot after that. Just really mix it up, and sometimes the fish are scattered and all of that stuff, and sometimes you'll find they're just using weeds or rocks or whatever it may be, and it will change sometimes day to day, so you have to keep moving around and be creative in that. Aside from your classic weed beds and rock piles and stuff, these muskies, they utilize the whole lake. They are in and out of harbors, laying under docks, swimming suspended over the deep water. There's almost always more than one pattern, so don't be afraid to kind of get out of your comfort zone and just try something different, you know, especially if you're not seeing fish. You know, cover ground and just keep bouncing between spots, depths, stuff like that. Something else I'd also throw in is your bait types. If you have a spot that you're pretty convinced there's fish on or seen some recently and you make a pass through and don't see anything, that don't necessarily mean anything. If you have multiple people in the boat, mix your baits up, you know, bucktail, topwater, maybe try a rubber bait. Just really mix it up, because they might pass on the first two and hit that third, whatever it may be, hit that bait without hesitation, and they won't even follow the other baits. So, I mean, if you go through one of your hot spots, don't just go through with your favorite bucktail and give up on it. Make another pass with the topwater, another one with your bulldog, or, you know, whatever it may be. And one more thing is the time of day. There is your early morning and evening that everybody really focuses on. You know, moon phases. Everybody's talking about moon phases, which can be a huge deal. But, you know, don't overlook the sun, you know. The point when the sun's highest at the day, the solar noon, can be a big deal for muskies, and not a lot of people are looking at it. A lot of people are hot by that point in the day, kind of giving up, maybe haven't seen a fish in 3 or 4 hours. And I've seen it from June into, you know, November to the close of muskie season. You can hit little windows. You know, it's kind of like deer hunting, that 10 to 2 period where it can be quiet for hours, and it don't mean all the fish in the lake go nuts, but it might be that one chance you've been waiting for all day. Try when that sun's right overhead, you know, give it a shot. It's warming the water up, speeding up their metabolism. You know, they'll get a little more active, and it's not a surefire thing that works every day, but I have more often than not. And today was a good example. Got one early, things slowed down. Didn't really see a fish for, you know, a couple to a few hours, and we were just mixing it up. And that midday, it's kind of been a thing lately. That midday, when that sun gets up there, the water temps are coming up a couple degrees, your bait will rise, your minnows will rise, and the muskies will react with that. So just, you know, you just stay open-minded, you know. Try different spots, different depths, mix up your lures. In muskie fishing, there isn't a magic lure, a magic spot. It may seem that way for a few days or a week, but eventually, you know, all good things come to an end. So you're gonna have to get creative and just really cover ground, depths, colors. I mean, a big thing's color too. You might go through with your favorite bucktail, say it's black and silver, you don't see anything. Well, put an oddball color on. Try an orange one, a purple, pink. There's some really off-the-wall colors that times can do really well, you know. And especially, you know, these lakes are really pressured. They're seeing, you know, pay attention to what other fishermen are throwing. If they're all throwing big bucktails, try a little bucktail. If they're all throwing bucktails, try a topwater. Try a swim bait. Try a, you know, weedless jigs. There's all kinds of things that not many people use that will catch fish. So, you know, just stay open-minded and just kind of go through the box, go through a variety of spots, and, you know, with any amount of luck, you'll figure something out. And if you do that each day, you'll start to build off of that. And, you know, before a time, you're going to build confidence in lures you didn't use or spots you normally didn't fish just by giving it a chance. So, you know, just explore. Don't always hit the community hole or whatever it is. I mean, don't be afraid to, you know, to check some new stuff out. Hey Chase, I got a muskie following. Here he comes, bud. Get ready. buddy. Woo! There we go. Look at that spot. He is just speckled in spots.
There's a nicer one too.
You maybe want to try one of these baits?
Sure.
Chase, can you grab me that toolbox, buddy? Told you we were gonna get two of them, and we got one of them down.
What do you think, buddy?
It's cool. You could see the lake on it. Oh, there's a nice one too.
You ready, Chase? Come stand up here by me, buddy.
Boy, he's fat.
Nice Leech Lake spotted muskie, beautiful spots. It's been about 5 hours since Chase caught his fish. Bouncing between rocks and weeds, and hit a little weed patch with a little homemade topwater and whammo. Careful, bud. So I like, do you turn them on their side when they resist you? Time to send them home. Heck yeah, fun times on Leech Lake. I just moved two nice fish, fishing out in a rock pile, but they were pretty lethargic, so made the move to try some weeds. Just tossed on a little homemade bait there and watched him follow it right out of the weed bed, and as I sped up, you could see him getting excited. Each time I did that, he kind of came, and about 10 feet from the boat, he took it and got it. So, a good day, fun day on Leech Lake.
And it's a special deal to me because, you know, I've caught a lot of muskies, and, you know, it's always fun by yourself with your buddies, but when you have your kid with you, someone close like that, it's a real special experience, you know. It's, you see their face light up. It's hard to put words on it, really, you know. It's just something that, you know, if you haven't done it, you have to try it. It's sharing that experience, the high fives, the excitement. There's nobody I'd rather do it with than, you know, one of my boys or family members. To me, that's what it's all about, you know. It's chasing the dream, chasing that elusive, that muskie, you know. Just, you know, give them a chance, and it'll be some of the funnest fishing of your life, you know, getting your family involved.
Leisure Outdoor Adventures would like to thank all their sponsors for their support in making the guide life happen.